going on, guys? It is Shawin with another video for you. I hope everybody's doing well. Hope you have having a good day so far. I'm having a pretty good day myself. I got a couple things to show you here. I actually have a few things to show you, but we're gonna have to do a separate video on the Trick or Treat Studios masks, Slappy and Mud Monster. Again, Tots packaging is not great, so we'll get into that with that video. I won't talk about it here. But needless to say, I had to reshape Slappy. He was very warped. It looked awful, and I'm still trying to get all of them hung up. So in this video, though, we've got two different packages. One is from my best bud Bjorn, as you know, Goosebumps Aussie fan, my co-host of the Goosebumps Group podcast. Much love and shout out to you. And we'll go through the items that he sent me first that are not wrapped. Because the ones that are wrapped are a birthday present, a late birthday present from him. As you know, Australia, I'm in the US, so you know it takes us a while because that shit ain't cheap to ship international anymore. Just a small box is like $75. It's crazy. So we don't get to ship to each other as often as we used to, but still, we love when we do send stuff to each other. And we always try to send stuff to each other as often as we can. And in this one, he's included my birthday present. So, but we'll get to those last because those are wrapped, so we'll unwrap them together and see what it is. But he did send me a replacement VHS for the Haunted Mask 2 because I did send my copy to Catherine Long for her to have for her collection because she is on the cover. So very happy to have this back in my collection. So we won't spend too much time on that. The next thing is, I was missing two books from my Monster editions, The Fright Light and number 2. So he was able to send me those as part of a trade we did a long time ago. And the reason why I did a trade for this one specifically is because it still has the light inside. For whatever reason, a lot of the ones that I see online and stuff do not have that light anymore. This one does. And of course, Bjorn, like myself, always wraps these, so this already came pre-wrapped. That's great. I don't even have to take it out. We don't need to look at it outside the packaging because, you know, there's nothing really to look at. I mean, it's a book. But you can see the cover, spine, and back. But what's most important is you see we have the light. So that is awesome. So big thanks to Bjorn for that one. And I figured while I was out, if he had an extra Monster Edition too, which I assumed he did, because it's Bjorn and it has Slappy on there, which he did. So now I have the complete Monster Editions, which I'm very happy about. So that completes another set of Goosebumps books. Now we're going to jump right into the presents. This one that's on top will be the first one, and we're going to open it here together. Now, if it's an inappropriate gift, I'm still going to show it. I don't care if you put a masked mutant dildo in here. It's still going to be on camera. I don't edit my videos, so we'll see. Okay, not a masked mutant dildo. We're safe for now because there's one more. Although that one's smaller, so I don't think it's going to be. But, oh, dude, really cool. I do not have this. And I do love me some Curly. Heck yeah. Okay, sweet. So, take a look at this. It's the Curly Booklight. Still in the packaging. How sweet is that? Oh, dude. That's so cool. Check that out. Yeah. Sorry about the glare, but of course when you're dealing with plastic and you gotta have lights, it's glary, okay? But, yeah, man, still sealed. It looks great. The packaging is good. The only thing with the packaging is like a cut there or a tear in the plastic, which isn't a big deal because the whole rest of it's sealed. And it's got those lovely 90s Goosebumps colors that we all love to see on Goosebumps packaging. Honestly, I think that's one of the biggest things that sold kids back in the day was just the damn design of the packaging because it did me. So... oh, dude, that's so sweet, man. I appreciate that so much. I love that. Let's jump into the next one. This one's kind of heavy. So I'm very curious to see what this is. Again, inappropriate, so it's going to be on camera, because I don't edit my videos like that. So, oh, okay, cool. So he gave me a hint of what this was going to be, because I never got to play the Goosebumps game back in the day because I didn't have a computer. They were a lot harder to come by back then, and they were very, I mean, they're expensive now, but they were very expensive back then for what they were. But the first thing I'm going to show, because he said he threw in a few extras, and I love these lenticulars. I've got quite a few. I'll have to make sure I don't have these too. Maybe I'll have a whole set now. But these little lenticulars that were found in chip bags in Australia, and I absolutely love these because it wasn't just the book covers, it was the TV show too that they did these on. So, and man, I remember having a lot of these back in the day when it came to like Ninja Turtles and a few others. So yeah, these are awesome. Lenticulars were so big back in the day. I wonder why they faded out. Like, you really don't see a lot of them anymore. I mean, you do occasionally with some artists who make prints and stuff, but you don't see them very often anymore. But this is the one I was referring to. He included the Escape from Horrorland game. Dude. Hell yeah. That is awesome. I wonder if it'll still play on my laptop. I mean, I don't see why it wouldn't. Yeah, maybe I'll have to try this out. Still got the booklet. Looks like it's a 2 CD. So you got this one here, and of course, like it was back in the day, just flip it. But yeah, that is sweet, dude. Thank you so much. Like, I've never played it, like I said, so like, assuming this works on my laptop, hell yeah, I'm gonna be playing the shit out of that. Because this is one that, like, we've talked about on the podcast before, and you know, this is one that like had the super crazy production value. There was an Attack of the Mutant game as well, but it really didn't get as much love as this one did. This one was, you know, Steven Spielberg and DreamWorks and Jeff Goldblum. I mean, it was just loaded. That tells you how big Goosebumps was back in the day. Now, the last thing he sent me, and I love it. I love my notebooks and my notepads. I even had a custom Haunted Mask one done. But this is an OG one. So this one that he sent me, Say Cheese and Die. Awesome Goosebumps notebook. Got that classic back cover that you saw on a lot of them back in the day. That's sweet. I know. I think I got like my best friend, or no, it was shoot. It's been a while. I have to go back and look at my collection. Like I'm starting to be like Bjorn. I'm forgetting what I have. But there was one I think I got out of him from a trade, or that he gave me. It was either Let's Get Invisible or My Best Friend's. I can't remember. I can't remember what he gave me. Like, there's too many Invisible books, I guess, for me to remember right now. I'll have to go look. But yeah, dude, that's awesome. Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it. I'm assuming the curly booklight is what you're referring to when you said you saw it and was like, yeah, got to get that from a boy. And I very much appreciate that, dude. That's so cool. So that is everything from Bjorn, my good buddy. Love you, man. Very much appreciate everything. The last item for this video we're going to take a look at is actually from Goosebumps Media 22, also known as, you know, his real name is Darren Webster. But he had sold to me his extra German Goosebumps VHSs. Now, if you're wondering which ones, the coveted Haunted Mask one. So I finally have one of these. I was hoping to get two, so I could get one to Catherine Long as well, but this one is staying in my collection, so that's why I sent her Haunted Mask 2. But this one is so hard to find. This is way harder to find. You know, the back is still the same images, it looks like, that the American VHS had. I like the cases, though, that they did for this one. Nothing wrong with the clamshell ones that we had in America. They just were a lot cheaper plastic. And you'll know what I'm talking about if you've ever felt one of those before. But yeah, man, so cool. And what I find so interesting is like the VHSs, it look like blank tapes. You know what I mean? Like they sometimes will have stickers up here, but they always did their stuff on the side, and that to me is just so wild. Um, and actually, this one does have a little. Get out of here without dropping it, or tearing it up. But this one has a little ad inside, so that's cool. I didn't know it had that though, so that's a nice surprise. And of course, I can't read any of that, but I'm assuming it's saying Night of the Living Dummy 3 is coming soon. I don't know what it says on the back though. Something you can send in though. But oh, that's so awesome. So Darren, thank you so much for that. And one other thing he was actually really awesome to send to me, that I purchased from him, of course. I mean, but he didn't have to sell it to me. But I think he had an extra because given the fact that he's a big media collector, I don't think he would let something go unless he had a duplicate, aka the Haunted Mask and Night in Terror Tower. There's also a German copy, and what I like about the German copy ones, much like some of the Australian, New Zealand versions, were they had the actors on the cover. They weren't the Tim Jacobus art. As much as I love the Tim Jacobus art, this right here, I think, is a missed opportunity because it's what separated the Goosebumps books from the show was obviously the fact that it's a show. So you're going to do a VHS, put the actors on there. But, I mean, I still obviously love the VHS. I mean, I have multiple copies of it. I framed the slipcover. I've got a sealed copy. I've got tons of it. So, maybe not as much as Bjorn does with Night of the Living Dummy 3, but I have enough for me of the Haunted Mask. The only reason I wanted a German copy was because the slipcover was different and the case was different. Some of the other countries still use the same Tim Jacobus art. They're just in different languages, maybe a different color scheme. That's not really that important to me to go out of my way to spend that kind of money on. But something like this, yeah, I'm all about this. So opening it up, again, we get... this one doesn't have an insert, which is okay, but this one does have a very cool inside on the back of the VHS sleeve. So that's really cool. But again, blank on the top, just on the side. But yeah, that is really cool. And it's kind of crazy because it shows like obviously some merchandise and some of the other VHSs, which include the Haunted Mask. Now I do need to get the Werewolf Fever Swamp still. That is one that's high on my list of VHSs. So if you have the German Werewolf Fever Swamp that you want to sell or trade, contact me. I will do that. Because Werewolf Fever Swamp is huge on my list. It's one of my all-time favorites. I just recently got a Werewolf Fever Swamp / Werewolf Skin Mask made by Peyton Patron. So if you want to, you can check out that video. But that's it, guys, at least for this video. Now, like I said, I got one coming up on the last two Tots masks, Slappy and the Mud Monster. Those did come in. And I've still got to do a Batman Animated Series one. And I believe there's a couple more we're going to keep in the pipeline just as a secret for now. But that's it for this one. I hope you enjoyed it. And until next time, followers beware, you're in for a scare.